Fantastic. Yay, Manon and Amika. We have a silent partner on the phone. Could be Linda, Ellen, and I know Nikki was on before. I don't know if she's still on. Welcome, everyone. And we're going to have a presentation on one of my favourite products, the PowerStrips. And I'm wearing one right now at the back of my neck. So we've got a special guest. I'm very excited. We've got a special guest testimonial tonight. Someone, a very good friend of mine, Lisa Coulson, who's a Bowen therapist and a journey practitioner and a holistic healer. And she's an access consciousness facilitator. And she's been using the PowerStrips. And she's actually been quite instrumental in introducing it to many, many people. And the PowerStrips, because of Lisa and because of her commitment to taking action and stepping into her truth and power, that these PowerStrips have gone to India, to Malaysia, to Hong Kong via her as a channel, and introducing it to one very powerful woman. These PowerStrips have gone all over the world, and that's a very, very big thing, very amazing thing that's going to contribute to transforming the consciousness of the planet. So Lisa will be on shortly. So I want to talk about PowerStrips and I want to talk about love. So PowerStrips has love written on it. This is a PowerStrip. I'll talk about what's in a moment, but what's very important is the frequency of this strip. And there is love embedded into this patch, and love is the highest frequency of all frequencies. So if you want to know the exact measurement in hertz, it's actually 500, I'll tell you exactly, 528 hertz, which is actually a 6 number, and I'm not going to go into numerology too much, but it's quite powerful. It means love is downloaded. 6 numbers, very powerful. That hertz is a very, very high frequency. So if you can imagine that our bodies are made up of water, 75% of our bodies are made up of water, and we're putting love onto our body, and that frequency of love is flowing into our bodies. It's almost like, I have to tell you, I've got one at the back of my neck, and I wear it most of the time, either on my liver or on the back of between my shoulder blades, the back of my just under my head, and it's almost like I have a hand on me. It's almost like the hand of the divine pressing on me. I feel it on me all the time, and it's like this warm, comforting, supportive energy just cradling me. And that's how it feels, and I can only speak from direct experience. And I believe, my belief is everyone needs to have PowerStrips in their cabinet. It's like I said about this last week. I talked about solar strips. PowerStrips, the main ingredient that is embedded with nanotechnology in a PowerStrip is marine phytoplankton, the world's oldest food. Oxygenates the blood, the body, and I just feel that this has to be part of everybody's routine, that every day, if everyone is wearing a PowerStrip or even half a PowerStrip on their bodies, then our frequency is rising and we can affect change on the planet. We can be the best that we can be. We can come into who we truly are. We are in that frequency, in the vibration of love. Everyone that comes towards us and near us actually picks up on this frequency, and it is the highest frequency on the planet. It can change the world. And there's a very famous saying, I can't remember the saying. It's gone. I'll quote it next week. It's really just about that one person's action can change the whole planet. And this is what we get to do. So I want to talk a little bit about the ingredients in the PowerStrips. So basically, you take a PowerStrip, for those of you that are going to pass this round to show this video to new people. A PowerStrip is a patch, and it can be used for pain, but it's an energy device. It's been approved. I'll just move the slides. The slides aren't moving. Don't know why that slide's not moving. So basically, the PowerStrips are an FDA-approved Class 1 medical device. And Nadav's just adjusting the slides. Thank you. It's all shown up. So it's been approved by the FDA, and PowerStrips are so much more than a Class 1 medical device. It's energy. It's putting quantum energy in your body. So it is. The only claim we can really make is that it will help with the temporary relief of pain. So they've been certified drug-free, BSCG certified, which means, and you can show this certificate, it took a lot of work for Forever Green to get this certificate. It just means that athletes are able to use this device, and it's certified drug-free. So we know that there's been a whole lot of issues with athletes with drug testing, and we can actually certify and claim that any athlete that wears this will be safe. No, it won't show up. There won't be anything detected that will indicate that they have any drugs in their bodies. So it's very, very safe. Athletes can wear it. Anybody can wear it. There's no real contraindication with anything. If you're concerned in any way, or there's someone elderly that's starting to try the PowerStrips, they can start with 1/4 of a strip. So you can actually rip the strips. They can just wear a small strip on any part of their body and increase as needed and as people are feeling good. So it's very, very intuitive. So what does the PowerStrip do? So some of the benefits of the PowerStrips, before I talk about what's in it: it relieves pain, as you can see, it reduces inflammation, it keeps you very calm, it improves sleep, it boosts the immune system, it increases libido, balances blood sugar, decreases cravings, and detoxes and rebuilds every cell of your body. So what's in the PowerStrips? We've got 4 main ingredients. So one is, and I get really excited about all of these ingredients. I actually researched a little bit of the benefits of Korean red ginseng, and there's so many benefits. But I've talked about the marine phytoplankton last week. So basically, I won't go into it too much. Marine phytoplankton is in the PowerStrips. There's not as much quantity as what is in the solar strips. But according to NASA, it is the most important food on Earth, and 90% of oxygen on the planet comes from marine phytoplankton, and this is embedded into the patch. It also has Korean red ginseng in it. Now, Korean red ginseng is an adaptogenic, and it says that it contains 32 different types of saponins. Now, I thought you might want to know what saponins are, so I did a bit of research. So saponins are basically compounds that are anti-carcinogenic. So they're, prevent cancer preventative. They are anti-oxidative, so they stop oxidization from happening to the cells. They're anti-tumor, antiviral, anti-hepatic. They prevent also heart disease, so they prevent aortic atherosclerosis, if I pronounce that okay. So they're amazing for protecting the heart. It's also an adaptogenic. In Chinese medicine, it is just renowned to be a blood purifier, blood tonic. And what I mean when I talk about an adaptogenic is that if you have high blood pressure, it will lower it. If you've got low blood pressure, it will raise blood pressure. So it will help the body come into balance and homeostasis. So that's a little bit about the Korean red ginseng. One of the most popular herbal remedies in Chinese medicine, and it is fantastic it reduces stress, it lowers cholesterol, it lowers blood sugar, and of course for men it is a fantastic, it has really good results for libido, for increasing libido. And I think 60% of men that actually take Korean red ginseng notice that they have they function better in that department. So that's really, really good to know. I believe it's also good for women too, and there are many, many different places where you can place it. I'll go into all the rest of the ingredients, and then I'll just show you the little packs that I create and I give to people when I give people a sample pack. So basically the germanium is the third ingredient, so I'll just talk about that. So what the germanium does, it takes the heat of your body, and when it interacts with the layers of deep tissue, it takes the heat of your own body and refracts it back into the body. So it dilates the blood vessels. When the blood vessels are dilated, there's a little diagram over there, if you can see, normal blood vessels, dilated blood vessels. When they're dilated, it produces heat, and the oxygen, all the nutrients from the phytoplankton and the ginseng rush into your cells. There's more oxygen in the cells, the blood is purified, and anything that needs to be pushed out, the cell can only contain, water and oxygen, and anything that's toxic, once the nutrients and the water and oxygen are there, anything that's toxic will be taken out of the body. So it's also an amazing detoxifier. Also, as you can see, medical studies have proved that by increased heat energy in tissues, there is more nitric oxide. Okay, so the nitric oxide actually helps dilate the blood vessels, and this plays a very important part in reducing pain. So every PowerStrip is designed to be worn for 48 hours. So you can wear it. I usually put it on after a shower. I have a hot shower, and I dry myself, and I put the PowerStrip on, and I wear it for 2 days. So there are 15 in a pack, and it lasts a month. These are some testimonials. It's also a great device for smoothing skin and for helping with varicose veins and spider veins. So you can see that photo over there. This is before the patches. This is after the patches. There's a fantastic diagram here of Dr. Min Soo Kim, and he's wearing the patch in the slide on the bottom, and here he's not. And you can see with an infrared camera how within 15 minutes it's just absolutely working all over the body. So it works 10 centimeters into the tissues and all through the body. So it doesn't really matter where you put the patch. I mean, I can put it here and it's working to oxygenate my brain, but it's also working right throughout my back. It's going deep into the tissues, and it's helping on various different levels. So these are, again, some photos. This is a woman who had a stroke on the bottom. She's put the patches on one side of her face, and it's really helped because it's oxygenating the cells, and it's helping everything renew and regenerate. You can see in this picture here how after a few months putting those patches, cutting them up and putting them on her face every day, she's really improved, and her face is in perfect balance. There's a picture of somebody with psoriasis, before and after picture, warts. You can put it, cut it up and put it on your finger, and absolute improvement with warts, and fantastic also for teenagers with acne. Really, really good. And I know we have a member in New Zealand, very early on, she tried it, Francisca tried it with her daughter, and her daughter actually loved it for her skin. And you can even put it on your lines. If you've got sort of deep lines, you can put them on while you sleep and just take them off in the morning, and they really help as a cosmetic device too. So basically, I want to talk about one more thing before I bring Lisa on, and we've still got a few minutes. I want to show you the sample pack. I want to show you what I do when I introduce PowerStrips to people. I have I've got a little pack, and I put it in a little, I don't know if you can see, it's a little snap lock bag. And I basically, when I introduce it to people, I give them a little pack, and it's just got my website on it, a little detail of how to use it. It's a document that I've printed out that we can give you copies of, tell you where to get these. So it just tells you what it is, class 1 medical device. And then I've got a little patch inside it. So there's a patch that I put inside, and they can try it. I give them a free sample, and I give them one of these indicator sheets of where to put the patches. So if any of you want these, I can show you where you can get them. So basically, it's got all the different parts of the body, where you can put it for what condition. We also have an indicator list that I can email to you of all the different places on the body where you can put the patches for all the different conditions. I want to talk a little bit about quantum energy too. The patches have been created by Dr. Min Soo Kim, and they've been created with a certain frequency in it. so that when you put it on different parts of the body, they're going to work in a very, very deep way. And it's quite hard to explain, but basically I'll just read to you Dr. Min-Soo Kim explaining how the quantum energy works in the patches. So he says, when you put a power strip on a painful area, the quantum energy actually subsides and alleviates any kind of pain. It helps your blood circulate better, calms your nerves. It will help your muscle system, nerve system, and increases your immune system. Since there are about 50 types of energy, what kind of pain relief you feel depends upon your body type. Not only are there 50 types of quantum energies embedded into the power strips, there are also 3 different types of extracts: Korean red ginseng, marine phytoplankton, and organic germanium. I forgot to talk about silver ions too. The other ingredient embedded in the patches are silver ions, and we know the benefit of silver. They're antiviral and antibacterial. So if you're coming, it just prevents you from getting infection, and if you're unwell, it helps that heal quicker. And you know, it just works on so many different levels. And for, you know, if you work out a patch, it's $5 a day. I always work this out, $5 a day, $5 a patch, so it's $2.50 a day. And when you buy a packet of patches, you're looking at $74 US. You don't even have to wear a whole patch. You can wear half a patch to make it last longer, or put it in 2 different areas. Again, I want to stress to you that everything is a choice. The quality of your life depends on the quality of choices you make, and wearing these patches every day takes you to a higher vibration, a higher frequency that just, I mean, I have a vision that it just becomes part of everybody's first aid kit. That, again, like I mentioned last week, you put a solar strip on you, in your mouth, you put a patch on your back or on your body, and off you go, and you're off and running. Very, very, very powerful, very simple. You know, it reminds me of this story of this very old wisdom story of somebody who was lost at sea and they were drowning, and he says, "God save me." So, you know, there comes along someone with a boat that wants to pull him out, and he says, "No, I don't want you to pull me out. I'm waiting for God to save me." Someone else comes with another oar and hands him a noose. No, I'm waiting for God to save me. And then a third person comes, and the guy refuses and says, no, I'm waiting for God to save me. Anyway, this guy ends up drowning, and then he meets God in the afterlife and says, "God, you know, where were you? Where were you? I was waiting for you to save me." And God says, "Are you an idiot? I sent 3 people to save you. You know, why didn't you take the opportunity? I was there. I sent these 3 people to save you." So I want to make that analogy. It's almost like we've been given these power strips. Everyone can have them. Are you going to take the opportunity of making that commitment to yourself, of honoring and loving yourself enough and caring about your health enough to go and make sure that you invest in your health and you have a packet of patches with you all the time for all the things that you're not going to get over the next 30, 40 years? Otherwise, you know, it's the story of the guy in the boat. You know, you don't want to get something and say, "God, you know, why didn't you save me?" When, you know, we've been God-given or divine-given. I don't like to use that because I know not everyone likes that terminology. We've been given from the universe, from the divine, something that's going to help us on that high level. So again, it's just a very conscious choice, and I just invite you to make that choice, because everything's a choice. The quality of your life depends on the quality of your choices and the decisions that you make on a daily basis. So I'm going to bring Lisa Coulson over. She's had amazing results with PowerStrips for herself and for other people, and I just want her to share with you what she's experienced. So come on over. And I'm going to say good night. And I'm going to just tell you before we leave that next week we have a special guest. If you tune in at 6:30 next week, we're going to talk about Ketopia, our amazing metabolic reset 10-day system. And we're going to have Sakshi here live, who's going to talk about how it reduced her, had helped her diabetes and reduced her sugar count. And she's going to tell her story. So that's next week. So please come on at 6:30. And Lisa, I'd love you to come and sit next to her. Oh, okay. Nadav wants me to sit here and interview you for the time that we have. Lisa's here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're here.
I want to make sure everyone hears us. So, Lisa, what has been the benefit for you using PowerStrips over this time?
Well, there's been lots of benefits for me in, I've actually used it on my liver, and I'm fairly sensitive, so I do use half a PowerStrip on my liver, and I'm just getting shown how to use this, and I've had great results, like just doing a very slow detox, which I've found really useful for myself. And I think some of the great results I've had with other people, as well as in, you may have heard the story of Hazel. And my friend Hazel, Vera, first gave me some PowerStrips and said, oh, just go play with them. And I did. And so what happened then is I caught up with a friend of mine, Hazel, and she just had a bit of surgery and she had this nasty big black bruise. Now, Hazel is a naturopath and homeopath and very well known in different areas of healing. And she had this whopping big black bruise that she'd had for 2 weeks. And I said to her, gee, that's no good. I said, hey, I've got this awesome stuff that I've been told about. Let's just put a patch on and see what happens. So I put the patch on, I suppose, about 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. And then I left about 3. And then when I went and had another look at it, it had already changed, and I said to her, gee, that looks better already. That's really fascinating. And then after that, a very good friend of mine who I introduced to the products, she took a photo 48 hours after it, and the difference was really quite noticeable. And then they put another patch on after 48 hours, and the difference again was really quite phenomenal. Now, this friend of mine, she'd had it for 2 weeks and had tried all of her remedies and healing on it, and it still hadn't budged. So that really, really impressed me and impressed them, and then they signed up because of the results as well. And it's just taken off. My friend Simone has just taken it globally and internationally now. So yeah, I've just found great results with the PowerStrips. So
thanks. No, thank you.
Too easy.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. And you had another story. Is there another story that you shared with me? Oh, I need to share with you an amazing story. I actually have to share with everyone this incredible story. I'm trying to fit us both into the screen.
Oh, okay. You're right. You just
go. I really want to talk about energy and consciousness, and I've got a bit of a habit of doing, meditation every morning, and I was a bit stuck because we were supposed to have the webinar on Ketopia tonight, and the Naray, who was supposed to be the guest speaker, ended up in Queensland, and I thought, what am I going to do? And this morning, I just had this impulse. I just knew that I woke up and it was like PowerStrips. We have to talk about PowerStrips tonight. And I didn't know how it was going to unfold. And yesterday, something made me send a message to Lisa on WhatsApp. But Lisa didn't receive it. For some reason, it didn't go off. It was stuck in my phone, and but I was starting to call in Lisa, and I didn't know why. And this was last night, and I woke up this morning and I thought PowerStrips, and I meditated. I did my meditation 15 minutes. I did my gratitude. I sent out love to my family, and as you do, and then Lisa rang me out of the blue. I haven't heard from Lisa for how long? A month? More than a month, 6 weeks. She just rang me out of the blue this morning, and my computer's just turned off, but it's come back on. And I thought, oh my goodness. And I said to her, and she goes, look, I want to come round tonight. What's going on? What do you have on? And I said to her, isn't it funny? Because I sent you a message yesterday, you didn't have it. I woke up this morning, I had this absolute clarity that we had to talk about PowerStrips tonight. And there Lisa was with her amazing story. And she's impacted the world by introducing the people that she has introduced. And, one person, what I always say, what's small is big and what's big is small. And Simona, one of the people she introduced, went to India, and in a week, 100 people in India actually ordered PowerStrips, which is phenomenal. And that's because of you. That's because of your action. You felt the energy with something and you didn't keep it to yourself. Remember last week I gave this great quote, what you give forward turns to gold, what you share turns to gold, and what you hold back turns to coal. So it was an invitation: are you going to hold back and keep it to yourself, or are you going to be brave, be courageous, and go out there and try to share
I
it?
was really excited about sharing it because it to me, and I wanted to test it out. I wanted to see what happened for other people. So it was like, oh, I've got this patch, let's try it. So it was very exciting.
Yeah, let's play. And,
let's play.
And you haven't turned back. And the thousands of people, you don't even know how many thousands of people you have affected and you will affect over time. And let's face it, the dilemma in our modern world, pain is a huge issue. There are billions of people, according to this little slide there, more than 2.5 billion human beings. And there are many people, huge amounts, billions of people that are in pain, that are looking for a natural solution. And we have one, and it is our, I believe it's our, I don't want to call it God-given right. I don't know. I believe that we've been, if you're given something, it's our responsibility to share it and pass it on, and so we can affect change on the planet and help in create wellness on the planet on a very, very large scale. And this is something we can do. And this is our invitation to you tonight.
Absolutely.
It's just to share it with everybody and pay it forward. I call this a pay it forward business.
And come play.
Play, absolutely.
And share.
Play and share. And this is the world that we live in. We're in human bodies. We live in this reality that, we live in this Play-Doh of reality where we can create and manifest anything. When we're feeling good and healthy and our vibration is at 528 hertz, we can really do this fully and lovingly and on purpose. So that's going to be the end of our presentation this evening, and we're going to go on. For those of you that want to stay on, we're going to do our business presentation now. We're not going to click on and off. It's just easier to go ahead and go straight into our business presentation. And but we will edit this video for those of you that just want to pass on product information. But please feel free to stay on. Are there any questions? We're going to be really casual about this. I know there's only a few people on. If anyone wants to type in any questions at this stage.
And I want to add something.
Nadav wants to add something. Come.
Well, shall I?
Let's go.
Hi, everyone. No, I just saw exciting news this week that Forever Green announced that they sold until now 30 million PowerStrips so far. And I think I did a quick calculation of I think it's 1.4 billion hours of pain relief. So wow. If you calculate that, that's quite remarkable. If we think that we calculate that every PowerStrip is for 48 hours, that's remarkable. So 1.4 billion hours of pain relief. People
pretty awesome.
Yeah, benefit.
Yep.
Great. Nikki had a question. That's fantastic. So Nikki's asking, Lisa said about placing a strip on her liver. What did it do to the liver?
What it did to the liver, well, I just felt like I was going into a detox with it. And I initially started off with a full power strip, but because I am so sensitive, I cut it down to a half. And so what it was, it was really hard to verbalize. I just felt that my body was going into a detox, and I was drinking more water, obviously going to the toilet a lot more with that. It just felt like there was a detox happening, which is, flushing things through the system. That's what it was for me. Yeah, so I hope that helps.
Nikki's typing. And when I don't
have...
Great. Thanks, Nikki. And I know for myself also, I have it when I don't have pain anywhere else. The two places I put it on is the back of my neck or on my liver. If there's no pain anywhere, I put it on my liver because I know it's going to be, I have a sluggish liver whenever I have blood tests in the past, and we know that everything changes in your body. Whatever you do now, the change, you'll really see the change in 3 months because it purifies your blood. If you're wearing one every day, it's going to purify your blood, and you'll see a big change in 3 months. So whatever you have today is the result of things you've been doing 3 months prior. So I know that just by wearing it on my liver every day, you know, hopefully if I get some testing now, my liver won't be as sluggish as it was growing up, as it was years ago. So, you know, when I have, if I'm a bit chesty or I have any breathing issues, I have a history of asthma, which I haven't had in years, but if I do, I'm allergic to dust mites. So if I go into a room and, you know, some old building and there is dust, I will feel tight in the chest. And I put a patch on my chest. I put it right here. And it's just amazing how it just opens helps the lungs and helps the blood vessels dilate.
And I'll just add, my glands were up a couple of months ago, and someone said, "Oh, just stick them on your glands down here," and I did. I put them on at night, and I took the PowerStrips off the next morning for obvious reasons, and it did make a difference. Made quite a big difference. I think I did it for 2 nights in a row, and yeah, someone else told me to do it, and it worked really, really well.
So you did 2 half strips, 2 halves?
I did a half on each, yes. So, and I placed them long ways. And so I just had them on the glands all night, right down here on each side. So, yeah, it helped. I didn't get sick.
Fantastic.
Well, I mean, my glands went down very, very quickly. So
many stories. People with toothache put it just there on their face. You know, might put a strip there. You've got a toothache, you just put it wherever the pain is, and it doesn't really matter where you put it. It's going to create change in your body. It's going to help. So you can't really go wrong. It's only a win-win. Ellen's asked a question: how long does it take to reduce spider veins? It's different for everybody. Sorry, the screen's getting dark again. I don't know why it does that. I had some spider veins. I noticed a difference probably within a couple of days, 2-3 days. I mean, I've just got very light spider veins on my thighs and different places on my leg, and yeah, I noticed a difference. I cut a small patch. I didn't put a whole patch on it. I did little bits of the patch, and definitely I noticed a difference within 2 days, 2-3 days. And I haven't even persisted. I haven't even kept going. I mean, it sort of faded, and I really need to. There's other places in my body that I haven't even got round to that I'm looking forward to trying, because the places I did put it on, a couple of places on my body, definitely helped it fade. What else have I had? I mean, I've had huge bumps and bruises. I've fallen over. The times that you really notice that the patches work is when you fall, you know, when you have pain, when you get a bruise. I've had my bruising go down. I'm wondering, I would have liked to show you Hazel's before and after picture, and I've got it on my phone, and we couldn't get it up on screen tonight, and we'll show it to you next time. I'll see. We might be able to show it to you just from the phone. Here it is.
Here
I don't know if you can see that. I'll try it. You can see that. You see the picture on the top?
Now that's after 48 hours, and before that it was just a black mass. So that's after 48 hours, and then the one below is after 72 hours.
72 hours. Can you see how it's faded? And you can even see the square of where the patch is. I don't know if you can see how it's faded on the bottom compared to, and that's 24 hours later. That's really amazing.
48 for the top one and 72 for the bottom one. It was just a black mass, and she'd had it for 2 weeks. It hadn't changed. So,
So that's amazing. Amazing. Okay. So thank you, Lisa. And thank you, Doug.